Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, this is Lunar coming at you. Today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite Mega Evolutions. Now, this is going to be comprised primarily of just the design and my experiences with the Pokemon. And you're going to notice that's going to be the theme a lot for these top 10s because I'm very design oriented. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Blaziken really just carried me through the Battle Mace, and I know it's an Uber, and I know it's really popular to use because of its speed boost, and then you can also put Protect on it, making it immediately faster, essentially faster than Jolteon right off the get-go. And on top of that, it's got high attack and already high speed. So yeah, of course it's going to be popular, but like I said, it carried me through the Mace, and that is what really sealed the deal for me, essentially. Because I did have a lot of trouble with the Battle Mace, and I will admit, but Blaziken was just able to sweep almost every single team as a revenge sweeper. So that was pretty fun, I have to admit. And on top of that, it's got a pretty rock-solid design. Granted, the design could be a little bit better. I don't understand the length of the flames coming out of the wrist, or the fact that's coming out of the wrist entirely, but hey, that's just me nitpicking, so take it for what it's worth. Okay, so Lucario is the first of the Megas that you actually get to see run into, experience. On top of that, it's got a pretty awesome design, and yes, I know it's also an Uber. You're going to notice several Ubers on this list, but it's not because of their power so much as, again, we're looking at design, usability, and overall just how I feel about the Pokemon. And I've always liked Lucario. It's never really been my favorite, but I've always liked it. It's a cool Pokemon, and it was awesome that I was able to get its own Mega Evolution, and the way that they executed that Mega Evolution was just beautiful. So I think it really does deserve to be on this list. Now, I never really expected Aerodactyl to make this list because Aerodactyl never really seemed like the kind of Pokemon I would particularly enjoy, but it just happened to be a fluke that I said, hey, you know what? Let's just freaking use Mega Aerodactyl, and it was just a team I had thrown together. A friend of mine was trying to test their team on Pokemon Showdown, and my desktop had stopped working properly. Well, the internet on it started being a little POS, so I threw a team together on my laptop, and I faced that friend with it, and that Mega Aerodactyl did some serious work. It's fast and it's strong, but it's the epitome of a glass cannon, so that's definitely something that if you use Mega Aerodactyl, that's definitely something you will want to take into consideration when you actually use it. So be careful, but have fun. Okay, so this Pokemon, again, is just there for design. You can't tell me that Mega Houndoom doesn't look freaking awesome. It looks like the very pits of hell spat it back out. It looks malevolent, wicked, and it looks like it's about to eat your freaking soul. Now, I might be exaggerating just a little bit, but at the same time, it does look like it's a freaking badass. So definitely get yourself a Mega Houndoom today. I don't know. Did I nail the sale, guys? Did I? Now, Kangaskhan is here simply for nostalgic purposes. It's a Pokemon I've always really liked. In fact, it made my top 10 favorite Pokemon list for a reason, and it's also my all-time favorite normal type Pokemon. That being said, literally the only change is that its baby is hopping out the mama's pouch. I mean, is that really warranting a change in stats? Not really, especially considering its parental bond ability. If it weren't for parental bond, then yes, I could completely understand a jump in attack and speed and defense or something akin. But literally all that's happening is the baby's striking too. That being said, I think the simplicity is awesome, but the stats probably should be the same. Again, that's personal opinion there, so take it for what it's worth. You can see the stats here and right there. Okay, there we go, right there. So definitely go ahead and give that a moment to check it out. So there you go. Okay, so Mega Gyarados is everything you would expect from a Mega Evolution of Gyarados and more. I love the typing. It's now a Water Dark with really, really good attack. And it gets the Mold Breaker ability, which can be quite handy. On top of that, it looks like a genuine sea monster. Although I do feel like it could be a little bit, you know, more sleek and slim instead of as bulky as it is. But even still, it looks like you would expect a ferocious freaking sea monster that's going to eat your mind, body, and soul. That got dark really quickly. Anyway, that's what I like about Mega Gyarados. Manectric was one of the last Pokemon I expected to put onto this list because the design is just so off, but also it feels kind of right. If that doesn't make any sense, I do apologize. So let me explain maybe a little bit better. So we have Electabuzz who got an upgrade. We have Magneton who got an upgrade. So why not give one to Manectric? I mean, it's already a powerful Pokemon with powerful stats, and it just feels like, it just always felt like Manectric could be so much better than it actually is. So this is a good way for Pokemon such as Manectric to get some love. Yeah, it looks like it's a dog being squished by a rocky thunderbolt, but you know what? Frankly, I'm just glad that the dog got any recognition whatsoever. So there you have it. Okay, Agron not only did it get a good bump in stats, it also got its weakness to fighting cut in half, its weakness to ground cut in half. So that's always a good thing. And on top of that, it actually looks like a pretty good Mega. It could have been a lot better. It looks a little too, no, not really too bulky, but it just looks kind of strange. And I'm not talking about, you know, like Manectric strange. I'm just saying something looks a little off to me. That being said, Mega Agron is really cool. Granted, I probably wouldn't use it competitively, but that being said, Mega Agron does have a nice appearance and it operates fairly decently with its rock typing rather being completely removed from the equation. So yeah, that's always fun. Okay, so Swampert had to be on this list because Mudkip was my first starter and my favorite starter. On top of that, the burly Swampert does look fairly good, and the nice big arms are reminiscent of its high attack. It's an interesting Pokemon to use, as it's not really all that great, but at the same time, it is all that great, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But, you know, I just found it to be quite fun to run into people with, quite fun to attack people with, and really, it's just entertaining all around to use. So that's all there really is to say about Mega Swampert. This shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. It's Metagross. Now, let me explain real quick why it's not Salamence, which is my #1 favorite Pokemon of all time ever. I find the design for Mega Salamence actually quite disappointing. It looks like a freaking airplane. Anyway, Mega Metagross it looks to me like a Metang and a Metagross, or even two Metagross just fused together and to create this abomination of a monstrosity with, I mean, just look at the stats, guys. Look at the stat difference. I mean, what's not to love about that? And on top of that, you know, I just really enjoy using Mega Metagross because it's such a powerhouse that you know, I'm surprised more people don't even use it. I mean, I understand why people don't use it, but I just, at the same time, don't understand because it's so awesome. You can spec it for speed and attack, so basically you can make it a sweeper or a tank. And I just find that ability to do either one to be rather awesome. But hey, that's just me. I could go on for hours about why I like Mega Metagross, but I don't think you guys want to hear that right now. Thank you all so much for watching. Feel free to check the description for some useful links. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.